Are you ready for it?
Oh man, not another day like last Tuesday.
The big news.
News? What news?
Sorry.
What?
All right, but this is beyond news. This is like Pearl Harbor or the Kennedy assassination. It's like not even news, it's total shock.
Oh, come on, Jerry, please, 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 please. Sunny Digital.
Got the club going up on the Tuesday.
Hello and welcome to article number 2 for February 26th, Tuesday Newsday. The learning goal today is to determine two or more central ideas of a text and analyze their development over the course of that text, including how they interact and build on one another. Scale is similar to the scale that we've seen in previous Tuesday Newsdays. A 4 means that you can identify central ideas, the evidence that the author uses to prove his or her point, and how the ideas build on one another. A 3 means that you can identify the central ideas and the evidence that the author uses to prove his or her point. A 2 means that I can tell that you're identifying the central ideas, but not really showing evidence. A 1 means that you are unsure of how to find the central idea. To receive 1.5 units for today's class, you must highlight or underline the main idea, circle the evidence that the author uses to prove his or her point, and box any other central ideas in the text. We will identify the main idea using 4 skills. The first is to identify the topic. Remember that identifying the topic is different than identifying the main idea. We will summarize the article in 10 to 12 words. We will identify the first and last sentence. We will look for any repeated ideas. Generally, something that the author thinks is important is something that they will repeat. Today's article is titled, "Youth Smoking Declines Stalls and Vaping May Be to Blame." It was written on February 22nd. I will stop and identify vocab words as I see them in the article. So paragraph 1. Cigarette smoking rates have stopped falling among U.S. kids, and health officials believe youth vaping is responsible. For decades, the percentage of high school and middle school students who smoke cigarettes had been declining fairly steadily. For the past 3 years, it has flattened, according to new numbers released February 11, 2019. Paragraph 3. There may be several reasons, but a recent boom in vaping is the most likely explanation, said Brian King of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Paragraph 4. We are making progress, and now you have the introduction of a product that is heavily popular among youth and has completely erased that progress, King said. Paragraph 5. The CDC findings come from a national survey conducted last spring of more than 20,000 middle and high school students. It asked if they had used any tobacco products in the previous month. Some of the findings had been released before, including the boom in vaping. Experts attribute the vaping increase to the exploding popularity of new Juul version e-cigarettes, like those by Juul Labs Incorporated of San Francisco. Attribute is a vocab word. The products resemble computer flash drives, can be recharged by USB ports, and can be used discreetly, including in school bathrooms and even classrooms. According to the new CDC data, about 8% of high school students said that they had recently smoked cigarettes in 2018, and about 2% of middle schoolers did. Those findings were about the same seen in similar surveys in 2016 and 2017. It also found that about 2 in 5 high school students who used a vaping or tobacco product used more than one kind, and that the most common combination was e-cigarettes and cigarettes. Also, about 28% of high school e-cigarette users said they vape 20 or more times per day 20 or more days in the previous month, nearly a 40% jump from the previous year. Smoking, the nation's leading cause of preventable illness, is responsible for more than 480,000 deaths each year. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration bans the sale of e-cigarettes and tobacco products to those under 18. E-cigarettes are generally considered better than cigarettes for adults who are already addicted to nicotine, but health officials have warned for years that electronic cigarettes could lead kids to switch to smoking traditional cigarettes. I think the writing is on the wall, with research increasingly suggesting e-cigarettes are becoming a gateway to regular cigarettes, said Megan Roberts, an Ohio State University researcher. There is, however, some split of opinion among health researchers. Some had linked e-cigarettes to an unusually large drop in teen smoking a few years ago. And they say it's not clear to what extent the decline in smoking has stalled. Stalled is a vocab word. Or to what degree vaping is to blame. Cigarette smoking is still declining in some states, and another large survey found that smoking has continued to drop among 12th graders, though not in younger school kids. It's not clear yet what's going on and how best not to jump to any conclusion. And it's best not to jump to any conclusions, said David Levy, a Georgetown University researcher. In a statement, a Juul spokeswoman said that the company had taken steps to prevent children from using its products and supports prohibiting sales of e-cigarettes to anyone under 21. So here we are back at the worksheet. Remember that when we identify the topic, it is not the same as identifying the main idea. It seems to me, though, that identifying the topic, vaping on the rise among teens. Summarizing the story, while smoking is decreasing, maybe not is, but has been decreasing, among teens, there has been a recent increase, maybe we'll say uptick in use. Researchers think it's due to vaping. The first and last sentence, I will go over to the article and get those. The first sentence, cigarette smoking rates have stopped falling among U.S. kids, and health officials believe youth vaping is responsible. In a statement, a Juul spokeswoman said that the company had taken steps to prevent children from using its products and prohibits sales of e-cigarettes to anyone under the age of 21. Repeated ideas. I won't say smoking, I'll say vaping is increasing. I think we could also add that we'll say researchers worry that vaping is a gateway to traditional cigarettes. I'm going to adjust here because I think just vaping is increasing is a little bit too broad. We'll say smoking was declining, but doesn't seem to be anymore. In 2018, there was a 40% increase in those vaping 20 or more days per month than the previous years. 16 and 17. Now, of course, as always, I will not be giving you the main idea. That's up to you to find. And I hope that this information here that we dug up and wrote down, identifying the topic, summarizing the story, first and last sentence, and repeated ideas, I'm hoping that you can use that information to help you get to the main idea of the article. This looks like it for article number 2 of February 26th. Have a good day. Bye.